welcome David Serra from CELO, right, our customer from Europe, right, for another edition of our case study, right? So, David, welcome and thanks for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, great. So, folks, we have already done at least one interview with somebody from CELO before, but just to do a quick introduction, CELO is a global fastener leader, right? So they manufacture a wide range of high precision fasteners, and they are also do focus on creating engineered solutions, which are focused on innovative high performance fastening solutions, right, to solve specific assembly challenges, reducing installation time and overall lowering total cost for customers, right? So that's what they do, a world leader in the fastener business. But with that, I'm going to ask David to probably do a quick introduction of his role in the company, right? As well as maybe a better introduction of CELO as a company, right? What do you do? Okay. So over to you, David. Yeah.
Sure. CELO is a complex company. It's a family-owned business, but we have locations around the globe in 4 continents. We are established with factories in Europe, Spain, and Germany. We do have factories in America, the US, and Mexico, and we do have factories in China. Despite this, we also have commercial settlements and commercial offices in Chile, in Hungary, Poland, Morocco, and in Middle East. And as a company, we try to provide service to B2B, 2C companies. Yes, we work close with manufacturing companies on providing solutions for easy and fast assembly. So our main value is providing time-saving efficiencies and cost assembly technical solutions, customized obviously to the requirements of technical requirements of our customers. We also have another division for fixings, where we have a range of products customized by each market that offer also installation savings, yes, in terms of times and cost. And then we recently acquired a new company that is now our third division, which is CELO Facades. And CELO Facades is a division dedicated to the creation of facades from project design to installation. Yes, so 3 different divisions and a worldwide scope. My role is as a marketing corporate CMO. We provide a lot of solutions internally to reach new potential customers. We also provide to our customers expertise and communication assets so they can develop on their own markets. And overall, we create satisfaction of our customers through different tools and services that we provide. This is mainly our role, and we have marketing teams located also in the different countries.
That's awesome. And so specifically on marketing, probably a quick question. In general, marketing is responsible for one, the core brand development, right, for a long term, and also for demand generation, right? So in CELO, is that a typical role that you do, right? Can you expand a little bit on the marketing role, David? Yeah.
Yeah, CELO, we have 3 pillars for marketing. The first one is generating demand. So obviously all what it comes to develop and launch new products into the market. So the go-to market of the product part. That is a role that we have mixed with product management. Yes. We also work in finding new potential customers and reviewing the demand to invest in the most successful markets. On the other side, we also have the brand reputation, the creating a strong brand. We are very proud of our company. We try to do things with a high degree of quality, and it's something important that the reputation of our brand gets through all our activities. And finally, we are also responsible of internal development digitalization. Yes. So in this role, we are also changing the structure, so improving the performance of all our teams. So we take advantage of the new technologies to get closer to the customer and provide a better service.
Okay, that's awesome. Thanks a lot for explaining that. Right. Normally, people talk about demand generation and improving brand reputation, and it looks like you're also responsible for a very important initiative, which is digital transformation, and I know which really focus on enhancing the productivity of pretty much everybody else, everyone in the company, right? So, can you expand a little bit? I mean, that's a very interesting topic, right? Digital transformation itself. What do you do? Is it a series of projects that you do, right? What exactly do you do under the digital transformation office, David?
Well, it's huge,
Okay.
but I would explain it with some case or some examples of what we've done so far. No,
Okay.
when I joined the company, now it's been almost 8 years ago. We had barely 3 websites and very few customers visiting our website, visitors in general. Yes, and our different departments were using different tools, each one individually, to collect data and to use them for different purposes. Yes. In this digitalization process, what we do is first we have transformed the way that our customers can get to us, creating um, a really omni-channel structure, so they can contact us through any different technology, using whether the websites and fulfilling forms, connecting through email, WhatsApps, calling us, or it doesn't matter, whatever the channel, they will have an answer, and it's in line with the quality of the answers that we have to provide. Yes, so we really try to get all the different touch points and needs covered through the different channels. Also, in terms of the digitalization of the websites and how they find us. Yes, in 7 years we have launched 19 sites, an e-commerce. We have a PIM in terms of product information management. We have introduced technical and project management departments within one tool, which is the PIM. We have also launched CRM to go with the sales team on the front line and share the data. And so we provide always ultimately the right answer to our customer. Yes, and they can find solutions instead of bureaucracy. Yes, and get more straightforward. And this is also now moving forward with satisfaction surveys that we are now collecting to focus on the key problems that we are facing, or issues that our customers are on demand. I'm missing in the meantime many other things, like providing data data feeds to our customers for better enhancement. We have also added EDI for this invoicing and automatic ordering exchanges with customers. So a lot of different projects that we have opened and within 8 years. As you can see, this is a lot. The company has escalated also a lot. We passed from 280 employees. We are now over 580. So yes, we are growing, and these digital tools and this coordination of the transformation of the company towards a data structured company. This is what it helps us quick develop to that. Yes.
Yeah, that's a pretty awesome explanation, and it looks like the digital transformation initiative is touching pretty much every aspect of the company, right? You talked about increasing the number of visitors, right, through maybe more websites and better websites. So you are actually increase the number of visitors, and then once they come in, interaction with your sales team, implementation of the CRM, and then post sales, if they have questions, answers, are being provided, and of course core operations like invoicing, billing. You've talked about EDA initiatives. So it's pretty much, it looks like you've really touched upon every aspect of the company now. Now, with this background, it's a very interesting background. What are the major challenges or gaps that you were actually seeing in your project management or portfolio management, before adopting a PPM solution? And what were the challenges? I know it looks like you'd be having a lot of projects undergoing under the digital transformation as well as your the marketing. But can you talk a little bit about the challenges that you have faced?
Yeah. Well, definitely there are many challenges to to pass through, but yeah, I would say the main one to tackle is using the right software, software that can escalate with your needs, and at the same time, it doesn't represent a big challenge in terms of usage experience, yes, customer experience, or in our case, is more user experience, yes. Because we are a family-based company with 60 years experience, people in the company for over 30 years that have been doing similar processes for years and years. And this cultural change is always a big challenge. Yes, we have young people coming, and they easily take new technology as if they were born with it. Yes, and some others that are have another speed. Yes, I would say. So having first the right tool that can evolve with us and is easy for all our users to use is one of the main challenges. So it covers and it takes the um, the background that everyone has and all the contributions. Otherwise, we create silos of information where some will be providing a lot and some other one that maybe have some value within, they won't participate so much. Yes, so this is something important. Another one is, yes, gathering all in one. In this process, obviously, it hasn't been easy. We've been testing several tools, and introducing new tools every time is, again, like restarting. Right. So it is important to be flexible, but at the same time, choose the right ones that can group different needs in one. Otherwise, it's you also create silos of information or silos of projects, yes, or on teams. And it is important to keep up and follow up on all the projects at once with one vision. And this is ultimately what we've been working, and especially thanks to you guys with Profit, aligning all with one goal and direction. Yes. So at the end, there are 7 projects being born and developed on through different teams at the corporate level or local level, but they must have one alignment, yes, and reach one final goal. And this is also what it helped us, yes, prioritize and keep the resources under one same management. Yes, and this is ultimately what we are doing.
Okay, that's awesome. So, um, what really you must have been using some tools before, and as you said, you are using different tools across the corporation, right, across the company, and the company has actually grown, nearly double the size, right, in the last 7 years, 280 to nearly 520 people. So, one, can you talk a little bit in terms of the different tools that were in place already, and also what really triggered the search, right, for a new tool? Right, you mentioned, of course, you mentioned that user experience is important, having a single tool is important. Are there any other factors which really triggered, okay, yes, we need a new PPM tool, right? What really triggered that? And also a little bit of the tool landscape in the company. What were you already using? Yeah.
Well, probably because, as I said, with the new employees coming with different experiences, different usage, and they come also with their ideas and tools that they've been using in the past, and we are a flexible company, so we let them take the lead as soon as this contributes to an end. So we ended up with many different tools, and impossible to catch or track what was happening. Yeah, some teams were using Wonderlist or the Jiras, or the were using Asana. I mean, depending on the team, we're ending up with different software. Not only that it's complicated to catch up and to know what's happening in the company, but it's also that then it creates different backgrounds, different experiences, different levels of using the tools, and then some projects that are mixed in between those different tools, and we end up with duplicated tasks, inefficiencies, clear lack of coordinated objectives, and yes, in the pipeline, it's very difficult to control. So we were looking for a tool that could help us have all those. So from product management to task-oriented focus tools, yes, keep it all in one. And because of what I said, having the capacity to provide also a clear view on what is a priority for the company and how those projects are contributed to an end. Plus, now this is recently we are trying to develop this part with the budgeting, yes, but keep the budget of this of each project, and how it's evolving, and having the capacity to react before it's too late. Yes, so this is also something that we are very interested. But mainly, I would say, as a summary, is inefficiencies. Inefficiencies is what we are trying to cope here.
That's awesome. So you mentioned quite a few important points, right? So you mentioned about the freedom given to people to bring their own tools has resulted in a proliferation of tools, right? A lot of tools in different parts of the organization, and which means that really resulted in inefficiencies in ability to communicate and understand, right, about the state of projects across the company. And you also wanted something which is, I can see from a user experience perspective, simple, easy for everybody to adapt, and very comprehensive in terms of features, functionalities, and budgeting is, for example, you mentioned as a specific need. And quite a few very interesting things. Now, with all of this key criteria, right, now we are in the decision-making process. Can you walk us through your decision-making process, evaluation process? Who was involved? What alternatives did you consider, and how Profit.co emerged as the chosen platform at CELO?
It's we it's it's been a team process, right? So it's been a team decision. Basically, our decision was whether to use a tool that fulfills the basic needs of development, because we have developing teams in IT and also in marketing that they held the majority of those projects in project charter, yes. And at the same time, getting the majority of the company within, yes. We had and we still have some residual teams using part of those tools. We have still Asana, because some of the workflows were created and templates that are complicated to move from one platform to another, but we are step by step doing. We've looked for Microsoft project management, but also it was a little bit complex to get everyone on board, and difficult to customize to our needs, which this has been a good experience with you guys. And also we are still using different products from Atlassian, so as I said, Confluence and Jira, and Trello. Trello is I would say it's more like a wish list of tasks, yes, for some users, but it works for some users that have their routine, their own routine. When it's working with teams, yes, and cross different organizations within our company, then it's complicated to catch up. So yes, more in a collaborative way, I would say that Profit has fulfilled our needs.
Got it. Got it. So, when multiple people were involved, you said in the selection process. So, how long was the selection process, and how did Profit.co really emerge as the chosen platform across? Was it a consensus, or was it any specific team which felt strongly about Profit.co? How did the decision emerge?
Well, it's been human resources, obviously, fully dedicated, IT. We were product management and marketing. We were let's say, the leading or steering committee for this project, since we were the heavy users for other platforms and other tools, and we are gathering the majority of those projects by then, and we provided our ideal scenario on how those could fulfill. And then we ended up with the solution through the different stages. I think it took us around 2-3 months to decide, but also because internally we wanted to get a consensus on the tool.
Okay, that's awesome. And during this 2 to 3 month of evaluation process, can you recollect any aha moments, right? Which really, I know it would have been a very objective process, but were there any specific moments that stood out, during the process, which eventually helped you to arrive at that decision?
I think that the key, or for us at least, it was this part with the alignment with our OKRs. Yes.
Okay.
So the fact that the tool comes from the OKRs, and then you get down to projects and tasks, this capacity to automate and control through KPIs, yes, the evolution of each one of the main objectives, and get all projects and tasks underneath. This was the key of the success for us, because we are quite classical in our way of thinking, and we want to measure things, yes, and we like to get things under control, and at least know what's the return of the investment, yes. And because of this quick growth of our company, we were needing of a leadership program like this with OKRs that get us all in line or aligned at least with the main objectives of the group. Yes.
Okay, got it. And that's pretty helpful. So the aha moment in your case is the ability to come from an OKR perspective and align your projects to specific objectives, right? Overall, I think that's a hugely important thing, and I can absolutely understand that. Right? Thanks a lot for sharing that. Now let's move on from the decision-making process probably to the next step, which is how do you plan to use your project and portfolio management platform, right? What are the expected value? What are the use cases that you plan to use? Right? We'll probably have, maybe if you can throw a little bit of a light on how do you plan to use the PPM solution at CELO? Are there specific use cases or projects where this is going to be most used? What are going to be the initial, teams which are going to be using the projects, the departments which are going to be using the projects? Can you throw us some light on how you plan to use the tool?
Well, in reality, the majority of our projects will be there, since we as a corporate team, we develop projects that will be launched then globally. So those will require first evaluation, validation from local teams or some specific areas that will develop further later or will need to execute at the end. And then there's a big process of creating the different milestones, assigning the task to the right teams, coordination of the resources, both budget-wise and time and dedication of our teams. So this is most of our projects that we launch or we lead from corporate are based on this PPM project method. We are just starting now. We started 6 months ago, and we are still getting used to the tool, especially aligning in and getting these automatic check-ins on our OKRs. For now, it is working well. We have our main teams already using the tool and being capable to have a quick overview and look on the project. Also, we have recurring meetings to catch up, update, and follow up on the project updates. And what we are reviewing now is creating some templates, valuable templates for different specific project types, so we can save time on later design, the checklists and the gates that need to pass through. But overall, the experience is very, very good, and most of our teams have valued this as the right tool. What we need is also enlarge this and then empower our local teams to follow up on those projects. That this is also come with a little bit of more training and introduction of the tool. Yeah.
Got it. That's amazing. And in terms of this is probably one final question on the decision-making process. We're now covering the value that you're really looking at, and before we move into the final section of this interview, over the next 6 months, 12 months, specifically from your project management tool, right? There are multiple value that you can actually derive from the tool, right? Things, it could be strategic alignment, aligning with your strategic objectives, having better visibility of the project portfolio, right? Whatever you have, a better resource management, capacity planning, maybe better execution, right? But specifically for CELO, you mentioned already one value, which is that you are looking to save some time, right? But apart from that, are there any other specific goals or value that you want from your, PPM tool? What benefits for CELO are you, expecting?
We expect a lot. We expect to well, we that we are facing an area where we are transforming all our tools and our processes, our way of working. AI is changing a lot of routines, and what we want is to create not only a product or a project management model, but also to build it in a data structure way where the AI will be able to help us in improving the way we work, how we speed up things, also reviewing which ones are important or not. Yes, and also in the future is having the possibility to predict which projects will be needed depending on the overall status of the company. Yes, and by this I mean the situation, market situation, the turnover of the company, the trends on customers, the objectives, but also internally the situation of the different departments, which teams can lead on different projects, which ones are available, what are our constrictions or what are our problems that we need to solve, and then generate per se the projects, program them, yes, and create automatically what should be the alignment and the objective at the end. No, and this, I think that sooner or later we need to reach that target. I don't see it in 6-12 months. Probably it will take a bit more, but creating at least the basic structure, data structure, so we can then build on forecasting, on project modeling. Yes, this, I think that it should be our target. Yes.
That's a pretty compelling vision that you have in terms of the value that you are expecting. I think ability to forecast, the success of the project, and then modeling other projects. These are wonderful initiatives. We really definitely wish you the best there. Now, probably the final section of this interview is more on now that you've completed the selection process, you're implementing the tool. We'll probably come back later to you in terms of what has been your implementation experience, right? But if you have to reflect on this process, right, and maybe a bit of a feedback on the process, and if you have to advise somebody who's going to go through a product selection process, right, what would be your advice? Right? How should people go about doing a product selection process? What is your advice as a transformation leader?
Mm. Well, I think first it requires to exchange with the different teams and understand the reality and how the projects are being launched and hold. Yes, but especially understand what are the key pain points and which things are working, for which ones do we have processes and which ones require new ones. Yes, because many times this is our problem, that we want to run before learning to walk. Yes, and for many projects we miss in a clear defined process, methodology, teams that are needed, and don't take for granted that things that we've been doing or you've been doing in the past are necessarily the best or how we should be working. And so this has been for us very challenging. I'm not saying that we fully succeeded in this, but we tried to embrace all the teams to participate and provide us a quick look on how they want to work and what they need. Then it is possible to improve, to take care of what the team needs, and when you have everyone committed, then it's much easier to develop further and then move on. But I think this initial part, that sometimes we take it for granted, we already know, it's our business, we've been doing for years, so it's clear. No, it's a good opportunity to take back on our methodology and processes, understand what the team requires, what can be improved, and think back. because once you start, then you start fresh, and you foresee new opportunities in the future. And again, very critical, getting the team committed, that they understand that this is for them, also to help them grow, and then they will also use the tool with more energy and more willingness to develop further. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a lot of wisdom, a lot of wisdom. Thanks a lot for that, David. Right, and I'm sure this conversation is going to be pretty helpful for anybody who's looking at a new project and portfolio management tool or a strategy when they have multiple tools, consolidating them. This has been a very, very useful interview. And David, thank you very much for taking your time. I know this is your lunch hour. Thanks a lot for taking your time and doing this conversation. Right, I really appreciate your time. Right, and it was very, very useful insights. So thank you very much, David. Again. Yeah.
Thank you. It's been my pleasure.